All right, everyone. So what's going on? What's going on? This is gonna be the second part of the video on resumes that I'm getting done today. So I'm gonna do a challenge, and I'm basically in the next 20 minutes, I'm gonna draft from scratch a basic one-page resume. In the example industry or field that we're applying for will be retail. Um, we're gonna do all this from scratch. And yeah, a one-page resume, by the way, is what most people will typically be creating and what you should be using to apply for most basic and basic jobs. Let's say you're getting a part-time job or something like that. The one-page resume is kind of the gold standard there. So yeah, let's just dive in. We're recording. This is it. So first things first, we're gonna do contact information. I'm gonna put my full name, of course, and then we're gonna put home address or whatever your postal address is. This is my mailing address I like to use for business. Boom. Then we're going to put some contact information. All right. We're going to go ahead and center align that. Boom. We'll bold it. Boom. Boom. Sometimes I do that with the address. I'll just keep it the way it is. Boom. Realign. Boom. I'm not going to include a summary, or a. I'm not going to include like information like I was doing in the last video about citizenship and desired location. It's a one-page basic resume. So 9 times out of 10, this is for like you're just trying to get a quick part-time job or something like that. This is just a quick overview of your professional and work history. So what we will be including is education and work history. For education, we're going to go chronological order. So I'm going to put Massaponax High School. You're going to put your high school, and then any college and university experience that you may have. You're going to put what kind of degrees you got, diplomas, things of that nature. Cool. Just going very basic, nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy. Now we're going to go through work history. I'm going in chronological order. Some people recommend that you do most recent first. Um, and I'm gonna go for right now just for workflow. We're gonna do it in chronological order, and then I may reverse it later. But first things first, we're gonna do Payless Shoe Store. So you're gonna list all the jobs you've worked that are relevant to the industry. So if a one-page resume, you're not gonna, you know, so I mentioned that our example industry is retail. In this case, because it's retail, we're only going to list relevant job experience. So if you are like me and you've had a bunch of interesting jobs in different fields, you're only going to be mentioning the jobs on your resume that are relevant to what you're applying for. This is also true, especially if you're applying for bigger jobs or federal jobs or corporate jobs, and are using the full resume format instead of the one page format. With uh, your work history. So let's say you guys saw my last video, you saw my resume. I was talking about like carpentry, forestry, and then I got retail. I'm not going to list any of the carpentry or forestry jobs because they're not specific to retail. We're only going to list the jobs that are relevant that we've done for the job that we're applying for. And that's what you need to do with your resume as well, especially with the one page format. All right, so we're going to go ahead and list everything that we've done. You guys are going to see some of the interesting jobs I've had over the years. We got Payless Shoe Store, Five Below, I did all those. I got a thing from it, my apologies, Dollar General, done that. I Smoke Shop, Smoking Gigs. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that I'm forgetting. Wise Grocery, worked there too. So as y'all can see, I've been through the ringer. I've worked a bunch of jobs just like everyone else. All right, so we have our jobs listed. The next thing we're gonna do for workflow, we're just gonna All right, so we got all the jobs roughly listed. We need to continue to add all relevant information. So make sure when you list each job, you're putting where you worked, whether it was a part-time or full-time position, and an average or an estimate of how many hours per week you worked. And then usually you're also going to include the sale, your position title. What was your official title and position at the place you worked at? This is a one-page format, so we're trying to keep everything within one page so that we can just print a very basic overview. So the real key is, okay, we got this information. What else do we need to include? I'm going to include like the years that I worked at the locations, for instance. So for Payless, I think that was like 2011 to, let's say like 2015, 2014, something like that. Maybe off a little bit. Some of y'all that are watching this, you may have worked with me. You guys gotta remind me because I can't remember a lot of this stuff. This one for a little bit. I was at Germana and Payless. Worked early in the mornings there. This was 2016. This is 2016. Nope, this is not 2016. This is 2020. All right, so the next step is we do need to include a very basic description of what we did. So at Payless Shoe Store, it's retail position. So, you know, interacting with point of sale systems, cash register, basically assisting customers, providing excellent customer service. What else? Stocking, organizing shoes and merchandise. Stocking and organizing weekly shipments. Shoes and merchandise. Cool, cool, cool. Completing sales, transactions, stores, point of sale, assisting with customers and providing excellent customer service, stocking orders and sales oriented position, provide. This includes upselling, product recommendation. Those are all very basic little things there. Just bullet point that shit. All right, cool. We got that one done. We're gonna go to the next one. All right, Five Below. This position, I wasn't really on the cash register too much. I was mainly coming in early in the mornings to stock and to help bust down weekly shipments and basically get everything ready before business started for the day. I would arrive there usually like 5 a.m. and I think the store opens at like 9 or 10, and I was usually leaving by noon. So I was out of there way before the store was peak hours. Um, so with that said, we're going to put stocking and organizing weekly shipments, various products and merchandise, organizing, and give me 1 second, I'm having a brain fart. Organizing and displaying store merchandise via planograms and official company planograms. All right, so if you work for a corporate business, especially in retail, a lot of these businesses spend large amounts of money and hire like sales psychologists and experts to basically determine the optimal setup for their stores and how to present and display merchandise, right? So a lot of times they create what we call a planogram, and a planogram is basically like it's a official store communication, official store document, business document that tells the employee, hey, this is the standard, this is how all stores need to look in terms of this is how this section looks, this is how we display this type of product, this is how we display that type of product, etc. So with planograms, that's it's universal in the industry, and that is something you would definitely mention in a retail oriented. Hey, I know how to read these. I can take a company document and set things up the way it's supposed to look according to corporate. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why we mention that kind of stuff. So, organizing, displaying store merchandise via official company planograms, cleaning, and handling trash, etc. Just basic stuff. I'm not, like I said, this is a one-page resume, guys, for retail. Doing this really as an example, so I don't have to be super fancy. I'm not trying to impress anyone here. We'll put, hey, we handle the trash, we clean the store. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, I'm gonna hire someone that's willing to clean and take care of things versus someone that doesn't want to clean. If you feel it's too below you, um, I don't know what to tell you, man. Everyone's got to clean up after someone. Dollar General, same thing. Stocking, organizing, weekly shipments. Now you'll see I'm reusing a lot of the same statements, and that's completely fine because, like I said, short, sweet, and simple. And the main goal here is someone should be able to quickly look at this document and within 10 minutes or so from reading it, be able to understand a brief overview of your work history and your strengths and your weaknesses. Um, boom, so we got that. Now you can already see we got some, we're starting to crunch up here and get out of the one page zone. So we're going to fix it up a little bit, do some formatting. Boom. Okay, okay. A paragraph, line and paragraph spacing. Single space it. There we go. All right, so Wise Grocery. This is a grocery store, obviously, and I worked in the dairy and frozen food section. So, um, part of this job would basically help break down weekly shipments, food and supplies. Use a pallet jack to move product, move store inventory into position, and stocking and organizing weekly shipments of supplies. That's pretty much it. Just show up early, get everything where it needs to be, and get out. It's a pretty chill job, actually. All right, cool. So I mentioned using a pallet jack here. If you use equipment or tools, even if they're not like some that needs a certification or something like that, that's good to put on your resume too. Uh, let's say you've done factory experience and you've worked with like for instance, not like the basic pallet jacks, but what the hell they called forklift. That's an important. A lot of companies look for that as well. Some stuff like that does require some training and stuff like that, even though it may not be like an official certification, maybe like in-house training and stuff like that. So being able to mention you've used stuff like that in your resume will allow employers to have more confidence in hiring you because you know you may be a better candidate and you know you want to list any equipment, software you use, etc. If I was applying for an office position, you guys see I'm obviously on Google Docs right here, Microsoft Office, whatever you use where you're doing document work, right? If you have familiar or experience with using Microsoft Office suite of software and stuff like that, you need to list that in positions for like office jobs and stuff. So once again, guys, I'm going completely off the cuff here, off the train of thought. I'm trying to do all this from scratch in 20 minutes, so this is not like a prepared speech or anything like that. I'm just going off the top of my head here. Um, so with iSmoke Shop, we're gonna do the same thing, basically completing sales transactions, stores, POS, stocking, organizing weekly shipments, various products, merchandise, and then part of this job had some marketing aspects to it, so creating video content for store YouTube channel, posting, maintaining store Instagram, social media accounts, creating flyers for store events, helping organize and promote store events. Very basic, very basic. And pretty much my positions at iSmoke Shop and the next one, Smoking Geeks, were pretty much exactly the same. So I'm gonna just copy and paste everything here. All right, this is the rough skeleton of the resume, and I think right now on time we are about 10 minutes, couple minutes, 11 minutes in. So now we need to format a few things, make it just look a little bit nicer, easier to read. I don't, like I said in my last video, don't be doing all these pictures and crazy shit. Just make it very short, sweet, and simple. The main goal is to make sure that information is clearly and easily read and you can understand what you're looking at. Your eye should be, the resume has to have a nice visual flow to it that's not cluttered or overwhelming. And that doesn't mean make it look pretty. That means just, you know, how are you presenting things? How are you organizing the information on the paper, on the screen? Cool. all the places I worked at, and then for my positions, I'm going to italicize them just for ease. I guess I can bold the schools too. All right, so this is the basic format of our one-page resume. We're pretty much almost done. There's a few, as you can see, we're still stuck on 2 pages here, kind of. And so what I'm gonna do is review my work history and, look if there's, see if there's an odd one out, right? Odd one out meaning is that, can I trim out any of the unnecessary information from my resume and work history? And I think even though Wise Grocery, I worked there, and it is some aspects of retail at the grocery store, so it's a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and remove that one probably, just to create space on our resume, and still need to squeeze just a little bit more. So let's see here. You don't want to make the font too small because it'll be hard to read. Um, so what we're gonna do is keep that. I'm gonna switch from Arial. Nope, it's definitely not the one I'm doing. Times New Roman. Old school. Does not look clean. I prefer to use sans serif fonts, uh, which means without the fancy, very clean fonts, because I don't. They're typically condense the words on the screen and stuff like that, which is really the goal. So. You know what? Just gonna let it be. All right. So let's see here. Bear with me 1 second, guys. This is the hard part. So I'm trying to squeeze on one page just for the YOLO factor. Now, realistically, if your resume was 1 or 2 pages, that's fine, right? But you always want to get it squeezed in on that one page. Um, let's say you need to like learn some Office tricks too. Microsoft Office tricks, some other stuff that we do. Switch it and okay, okay. Just reducing the word count. So I think where we need to shrink it will be here just a little bit. Two lines, two lines. All